Assalamualaikum, welcome back to our channel. Today our topic is friction, the force that resists motion. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever tried to push a table or a sofa across the floor and noticed that it does not move easily? That invisible resistance you feel is called friction. Without friction, walking would be like trying to walk on ice all the time. We would slip with every step, but at the same time, too much friction would make it difficult to move objects smoothly. So, friction is both a helper and troublemaker, and today we will understand it completely. Now, the question is, what is friction? Friction is a force that opposes the relative motion or the tendency of motion between two surfaces that are in contact. In reality, no surface is perfectly smooth. Even surfaces that look shiny like glass or polished material are full of microscopic bumps and grooves. When two surfaces touch, these tiny bumps lock into each other, and if you try to slide one surface over the other, these bumps resist. That resistance is force, frictions. Let's understand it with an example. Rub your palm together. You feel heat and resistance. That is friction. Now, what are the causes of friction? Why does friction occur? There are three main reasons. Number one is surface roughness. The more the surface is rough, it has more bumps and more lockings, so it produces more friction. Example: sandpaper has more friction than smooth glass. Obviously, sandpaper is a very rough surface, so it produces more friction. Number two reason that causes friction is the nature of material. Different material interact differently. Like rubber grips road better than ice because rubber is stickier. Number three reason that causes friction is the normal force, or what we can say it is the weight of the body. The heavier the object, the more strongly it presses against the surface. This increases the contact between bumps and increases friction. For example, a heavy suitcase is harder to slide than an empty one. Let's understand the types of friction. Number one is static friction. Static friction is the friction that prevents an object from moving even when you apply a force. For instance, when you try to push a sofa, it stays still at first. That's because friction is holding it in place. Static friction increases when the applied force until static friction increase when you apply force until it reaches the maximum limit. Once the exceed the limit, the object start moving. Let's understand this with that example. A parked car does not roll down the road until enough force you apply it on it. Number two is kinetic friction. The friction acting on an object that is already sliding is called kinetic friction. Let's understand when once the sofa start to slide, it is easier to keep moving it because kinetic friction is less than static friction. The example for this could be pushing a book across a table feel easier after it start moving. Number three is rolling friction. The friction acting on objects that roll over a surface. Keep in mind that rolling is different than sliding. When surface is rolling, rolling friction is applied, and when surface is sliding, kinetic friction is applied. Let's understand rolling friction. Rolling friction is much smaller than sliding friction. That is why it is easier to roll a suitcase than drag it. Wheel, ball bearing, and roller all are inventions to reduce friction. Example of this could be car move easily because tire rolls instead of slide. Number four is fluid friction. We can say it as air resistance or liquid resistance because air and liquid both are fluids. So it is the frictional force experienced by an object moving through a fluid. It could be a gas or it could be a liquid. And any object that is moving through a liquid, moving through a water, moving through any other liquid or gas will experience fluid friction. For example, a swimmer moving through water feels resistance. This resistance will be due to friction producing by the water. So it is called fluid friction. A car speeding up sees air pushing against it. This would be the fluid friction. To reduce this, objects are made streamlined, like air pipe, fish, or racing cars are made streamlined because it can reduce so that they can reduce fluid friction.